Hi everybody! So I just completed my part of a Joseph and Abby journey experience session. So my part's an hour and Joe's part's an hour. So you're going to see 2 videos from us on YouTube today. I'm giving you an actual introduction after I've completed the session so you can know what you're getting yourself into with this nice long hour-long session, which this amazing client is choosing to share with the world today. So it was a really neat journey. And the journey is all about, we're going to go, when you watch this, we run into some really interesting spaces. We learn about how the ego gets a little bit vulnerable when we go deeper and deeper and deeper inside of ourselves. So I'm the advocate doing the energy work to go deeper inside of this client. And on that journey going deeper, we're going to run into more and more and more resistance on all different types of levels. Resistance of breaking down the structure in order to be more limitless and accessible to love. By the end of this journey, I bring all of these parts of a broken mirror together, merge them all together with balance and love. No judgment, okay? Because we're going to see some gruesome stuff towards the end of this journey here. No judgment. And then in harmonizing all of those parts, the light starts to shine really bright and we become interdimensionally connected with everything that is a reflection of harmonic love, right? We start to remember who we truly are beneath the surface of being human, because the human experience can separate us from the many amazing sides of ourselves. So can inspire us too, all right? And then when we get inspired, the broken mirror event happens, but we can bring all that stuff back together again with love. So I'm going to go ahead and introduce you to this video, okay? I just introduced it, but I'm going to be playing the video now. And I'm going to start at the place where I read the client's goals for this session. So I hope you enjoy it, and I hope you learn something from it. And I want to thank you for taking the time to explore this video, this experience with me today. And please give this a thumbs up, because the client, you're so awesome for your open-mindedness to share, so we can learn from your amazing soul, and we can all feel more connected to each other. All right, I'm going to roll out this video. Thank you for watching. My goals are to let go of fear and negativity so I can commit to my creative ideas and reach, support, guide more people. A secondary goal would be to meet one of my higher selves if that's possible. All right. And this client also told me that they're a manager, and being a manager gives me incredible joy because I'm able to coach and mentor people at work. However, I often stifle the big ideas and creativity that comes from my heart and pushes me outside of my comfort zone by listening to my negative thoughts. So we're going to be exploring letting go of fear, negativity, getting more in tune with the creative ideas to reach, support, guide more people, and explore meeting one of your higher selves. That is so cool. All right. I'm going to get in the zone here. Are you ready? Are you ready to see what Spirit has to say? This is going to be so fun. All right. I'm going to get a little bit slouchy at this point because I gotta relax here. I got to feel this one. Okay. I'm going to be relaxing now and getting into the client's spiritual atmosphere, and then we're going to go through and see what happens. Let's see what Spirit has to share about all of this and do energy work to just bring the best experience possible. Okay, so there's like chocolate syrup and a cherry actually on my head. It's like a big old cherry on my head and a lot of chocolate syrup just gooping down my face right now. I feel like I'm wearing a cherry on my head with a bunch of chocolate syrup gooping down. And it's kind of gooping down on my face too. I feel like I'm in like a chocolate factory and it's lots of chocolate everywhere. I'm actually standing here on a platform and I look up and it's like, wow, this place goes on a long ways upward, and there's a lot of chocolate dripping, a lot of chocolate syrup dripping all over the place. This is interesting. This is an interesting introduction to this experience. This cherry never rolls off my head, by the way. It's still stuck there as I'm even looking up and looking back. Cherry is still on my head. Okay. I'm taking some time to taste the chocolate syrup and decide if I like the flavor or not. But I find myself just continually tasting it. And it doesn't really matter. I just want to eat more of this chocolate syrup. So I'm just doing that. But I'm turning more and more and more into a child. And it's like a Willy Wonka chocolate factory experience. And I'm just a child right now. But I will say this cherry on my head is driving me nuts. I don't know if is it a weird hat I'm wearing? Like a weird hat is a cherry. It's a cherry hat. I don't know, but it's starting to bother me. But I can't, I'm actually licking like the chocolate off of my body that's like keeps dripping on me. I'm just licking it all. And I'm going to stop the behavior, okay? And we're going to take a serious look at this. We're going to grow beyond this, okay? What does this mean? I do not know yet. All I know is this is the introduction to your spiritual atmosphere and to everything that you want to explore today. There is something of the floor is actually shooting up like a high rise, like a super tall building. And I am on that floor, and that floor is taking me up really, really high. I'm just going to have to go with this. It's really hard to keep attached to everything we've seen thus far to make more sense of it. It's like, we don't need to make any more sense of it. We're just going to move beyond it, okay? And see what's beyond all of this. And this floor is just taking me up into the sky really fast. And I'm still what is like a little boy, actually. And I seem to be wearing like chaps and with some guns to shoot. And there's like birdies nearby, but I never try to shoot the birdies. And there's clouds, and I'm just lifting up beyond these clouds here. And I'm still like a little boy, all dressed in a cowboy outfit. Oh, I'm going up higher and higher and higher and higher and higher and higher and higher. It won't stop. It just won't stop. This feels kind of good. It feels kind of liberating and freeing. But there's still very unusual attachments going on here. I can't put my finger on it just yet, what these attachments are all about, but there's a reason for everything, okay? So it's sort of like licking the chocolate and just kind of, I'm tasting it to know if I like the taste or if it's the right, if it's good or not. But for some reason, it just becomes an obsession instead of what the original purpose was. Does it work? Does it not work? I'm just going to keep eating it. And then this cherry on the head. We're starting to notice the cherry on the head, but we don't really do anything about it. We're just trying to find a way to kind of, it's there. I'm going to try and ignore it, become a small child here, and just keep eating the chocolate. Well, we got to change the behavior, right? So now the floor is just moving us up really, 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 really fast. I've got my chaps on, and I'm like a 3-year-old boy. I'm a really little boy right now, and like a chaps and like cowboy outfit. But there's still something that is an attachment issue. Something about an attachment issue here that is getting in the way of seeing a bigger picture. So I got to keep feeling this out before I can put my finger on it. All right. Okay, so we're going up so high, but we're not running into anything, so there's nothing else to really teach us anything new. We're just going up really, really fast, really, really high, but we're not learning anything on this other than we're just going up fast, going up high. We're not choosing to shoot the birds. We're going past the clouds, but nothing is really standing in the way of us. There's nothing really to decipher what it is that I need to learn or not, or what I don't like learning about this experience. It's just simply happening, and I'm just waiting right now for something to happen so that I can continue learning new stuff. Okay, this is still me getting through your ego mind, okay? So your ego mind is really really paying attention to me, is really good at creating little illusions that we can go and explore together because you don't really want me to go deeper just yet. You're nervous. You're nervous for me to go down into a place where you don't want to look at it yourself, right? We all have places like this, and they could potentially not be too terrible, right? But it still feels uncomfortable. So ego plays a part in making sure we hide ourselves from ourselves. So we don't really know ourselves, right? I deal with ego just as much as everybody else, and I'm always working on understanding myself more and more and more every day. So we're going to understand you more and more and more every day too. Okay. We're going to understand you more and more every single day from here on forward. We're going to know you more. Today is the first day of knowing you more. Okay, so let's see. I'm going to jump off of this little ride here your ego created for me. And now that I've kind of figured this out, I can go into the thread that manifested this influence in the first place. So let's see what I find there. All right, so my higher self, spirit guides are saying we're going to start by working on clearing your ego, okay? Because your ego is getting in the way here. And your ego is quite clever. Like, it's creating distractions that you wouldn't even... They're like so seamless. You wouldn't even realize it. You just kind of go with the flow, but it's really kind of creating the next like little movie show, a little distraction. I'm going to go in this thread here. I'm still trying to get into it. All right. Okay. Yeah, you're fun. You're a lot of fun. Okay, what do we got going on here? A lot of doors you're manifesting. But I can just override this. See, your ego is still like trying to create the, don't look at the man behind the curtain. There is no man behind the curtain. Look at the big thing, the face and the scary smoke talking to you and the booming voice. But there's no person behind the curtain, you know. And it's like, I see you, ego. I'm going to get you. I am hunting you down right now, ego. That's what I'm like right now. I'm doing energy work. We're going to make you feel awesome today because we're going to help ego know that it's safe to just chill out a little bit, let down the curtain a little bit, and let you see more of all that you are today, okay? So ego can get in the way of us seeing a bigger picture. So that's the energy work I'm doing right now. And there's nothing threatening. I'm just telling ego, hey, there's no threats here. And whatever you feel uncomfortable about, why don't you just talk to me about it directly? And then when we can talk about it with each other, we can talk about it awkwardly. We can talk about it with anger. We can talk about it, we can talk in circles around it. But we eventually, we need to focus on this. We need to look at this. We need to acknowledge this as best we know how. And then we need to work on, I guess, being a little bit more flexible to getting to know the self, not being in the way so much and just finding out what's beneath the surface of you right now. Okay, ego's a really good listener. Ego is listening to me, is behind the scenes, but is listening to me. And a lot of this energy is actually going from the head now, and it's dropping into the heart and into the gut region, which is really good movement, okay? We're gonna just really, really let go of too much of the head energy, right? Now we got a cherry on top of our heads. Yeah, we got too much head energy going on here. So let's see. I'm just going to allow this relaxation. I'm just processing all this energy shift, okay? We're going to just relax the energy vibrations. Okay. All right. A little bit of anger happening here. Just letting that anger vent. It's a little anger nodule. Okay, yeah, you totally have a lot of creativity about you, and it's very childlike. It's like it's like a childlike part of yourself wants to tell me everything and show me everything and all your dreams and on and on and on and on and on and on and on. It's actually really fun and really cute. It's very kid-like. You pay the kid a little bit of attention and they will take you all day long. Let me show you this drawing I made. Let me read to you. I've been learning how to read. Oh, let's go for a bike ride. I want you to eat lunch with me. All of this is like on and on and on. Like when you give the kid a little bit, man, they will take you places in their little imagination worlds. And you're like this. You have a glowing yellow light emanating from you right now. And it has to do with a white pony. This little person's dream. There's still so many weird energy twists related to this. I'm finally getting to a place of self-expression, but it's almost like it gets locked into a weird system that wants to put an orb around it and then move it onto the shelf. And it's sort of like organizing. It's like an octopus with many arms and like any type of this creative stuff. It just puts an orb around it and then it sort of sets it on the shelf. So it kind of softens or quiets it. It snuffs it out in a way, but you never lost it. You never lost your creativity. What if I open up all these orbs all of a sudden? That would really change things, wouldn't it? Let's see if you're even ready for that. Boy, you got an interesting energy field. I actually have to solve problems here in your energy field, so I'm just doing that right now. I've got the thinking man's going on here. I get the thinking man happening. So I can solve this energy experience I'm having right now in this octopus, mechanical octopus that just put an orb around this bright yellow light and the white pony, and then put it on a shelf. There's a lot of intelligence. I mean, there's a lot of smarts going on here, which says a lot about you. Let me just see what I can do here. This octopus thing, when I look at it, it seems like the arms get longer and longer and longer. So when I go down to it, it's like it's getting further and further and further away from me. So it's making it difficult for me to reach it, so to speak. It's creating all these illusions. This isn't necessarily full-blown ego. This is something else here, creating these illusions. And I'm just gonna see the octopus head is this bright yellow child, which is very a female child emanating, and a white pony. So the octopus head is this orb of the yellow energy, the little girl in like a yellow sunlight, but it's so bright you just see the color yellow, and there's a white pony in there. So I'm just gonna allow this to be this octopus's head, okay? So the orb now of this girl and this meaning is now the octopus's head. However far away it wants to go, it's this girl now. So it's going to change its meaning and its identity, which means everything now, frequency-wise, is going to shift. So let's see here. Okay. Somebody is really mad at me for this. They say, it's about protocol, it's about following the rules, it's about you didn't sign on the dotted line, and da-da-da-da-da. We got to make sure that, all the T's are crossed and the I's are dotted, and we didn't authorize this. and I am mucking it all up right now. I am mucking up your sanitary station, your organization world, your, it's like straight and narrow experiences. I am mucking it up, right? Because I'm just sort of like some bum off of the street that just walked in here. That's how you're treating me. It's funny stuff. Okay, so let's see here. I've got like a police officer. Because you are so structured, you have all of these in place, these checks and balances in place in your energy field. So you yourself won't let yourself get out of line. But you need to get a little bit sloppy. But my higher self says, does this client really need to get a little bit sloppy? Maybe we need to look at this a little bit more. Well, I am looking at this, and when things get a little too straight and narrow, we need to get dirtier, in order to break the chain of that idea, of that structure. We need to do the opposite of that structure in order to break it down. But let's just see what happens next here, okay? Okay. A lot of anger. And it's really coming as a clench in all the digestion, okay? So the lower gut and the upper gut and the belly button, all that is just like clenching right now at me. And this isn't necessarily you at the surface. This is you beneath the surface. This is you wanting to keep the checks and balances in place, okay? So we have all these different identities. Like, here's my identity at the surface, but how much of myself do I truly know until I go within myself, right? So now I'm going within here, yourself, and we're finding what you're like inside yourself, like deep down inside. This is what you're like. This is so cool. Okay, so you got a lot of police officers and security guards, and you got weird stuff going on, which is awesome. Okay, let me see here. Anger pocket. Where are you, anger pocket? Yeah, so you did a really good job venting right there. Anger pocket came out. Things are relaxing. But you're already building walls. You're already saying, no, I don't want you to see this. And it's like, why are you afraid? There's actually nothing to be afraid of here. This is us getting you in tune with your creativity and not pushing that away. This is the negative thought stuff. I mean, you're all these opportunities to be youthful, to be bright and sunny, to have a white pony, is sort of an embarrassment or a shame, or we got to lock that up and put it on the shelf for another day. And we're doing the right thing, and we're creating structure and balance and organization, and then anytime we let something slip, it's like, oh, nobody saw that, didn't do that, we'll just block it off so you can't get access to any of this. So really, we got to get into a raw, it's almost like discovering how you can be more rawly you, where you can screw up, where you can, and you can laugh about it, where you could be a child one day and just, where there needs to be a lot more relaxation, expansion here, so you have more avenues to travel on, to be all the different ridiculous sides too, like a clown, or I tripped and fell on my face, and I slipped on the ice and everybody saw me and laughed, and then I laughed too because it was funny, but then I had to sit on my wet pants all day at work and it sucked, and everybody pointed it out, but that was funny too, but it was also annoying. But this is human life, right? This is a reality of human life. So the more that we just engage in the reality that life is awesome and not awesome a lot of the times, and we just let that be, and we just go with the flow, and we just go with the flow, we'll just toot our own horn, and we just let the music guide us, like the Pied Piper. Let's the music guide us, not the structure guide us, the music. And the music can be disharmony sometimes, but that disharmony brings the more meaning, and we start to understand who we are through it. We don't want to block out the learning because the learning is hard. We want to embrace new avenues of learning. So we have to make new decisions, try new things, trial and error of new stuff. But making mistakes is good too. Making mistakes is also good too. I don't necessarily feel like I've hit the nail on the head just yet. But we're getting there, okay? With trying to make sense of your energy flow, and what your structure is that you're creating, and then what we can do to break it down so you have more access to freedom, okay? Freedom of total self-expression, not hiding self-expression, but freedom of total self-expression. So let me see here. I'm going to try and get into still this anger pocket that created layers of walls so it would be, block me out more, that sort of thing. I literally, your spiritual atmosphere is telling me that I'm like some drunken hobo, like stumbling around, and I'm making a mess of everything. That is what your spiritual atmosphere is acting like. It's kind of funny. All right, so am I a blurry person right now? I'm a blurry person right now. All right, I'm going to come right back. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and relax here. I need to get you to see that when you show me that when your police officers are trying to arrest me for being some like hobo mucking up your mojo, there's something important to me looking at this with your deeper consciousness, okay? So I'm pulling out a part of your heart, okay? I'm going to just pull out a part of your higher self right now. I'm going to bring your higher self right here, and we're going to actually look at the reflection of myself as you see it, as your police officers see it. We're going to transform this, okay? Because I'm the creative force of love. And to your police officers, I am a threat, I'm a threat to society. So that would explain a lot of why you're struggling here with just letting the creativity flow. Because you've got some hardcore structures in place about, structure, basically. Creativity is without structure. Creativity is undefinable, infinitely undefinable, and in a structured world that doesn't work. And society really wants a structured world. But that isn't working. It never will work until humanity realizes it has to be a creative society for us to truly be free and to free flow. We're all in miniature prisons within the bigger picture and the smaller picture of our individual lives. And we create energetic structures in order to survive here. So, all right. So your higher self and I were looking at the hobo version of me with your police officers, and we're just going to look and see. Why? And I'm going to transform this hobo into a reflection of yourself. And I'm telling your police officers, why are you so cruel and so hard on this part of the, queen and king of this kingdom? I mean, this hobo is also you police officers. I'm just transforming the police officers all look like this hobo with police uniforms on. I'm bringing the king and queen of the castle, which is your male, divine masculine, divine feminine emanations. I'm just putting you here as like the masters of your own frequency. And I'm going to have them look like the hobo face too. Let me see. When are you going to love yourself? This is a really big deal. Nobody knows what to say right now, and the whole image is just stalling out, which is okay. It's downloading and processing the meaning of this energetic communication. And I say, if you need to show me something new, then you can go ahead. This created a huge shift in your mental body and in your lower gut, okay? Belly button down. Create a weird energy in my throat and in my heart. This is also you, okay? How we're working through your energy shifts. All right, again, anger. There's a girl who is chained, tied to a chair, and she has duct tape over her mouth. She can't hardly breathe. She's straining with all of her might. It's like a cubicle world. And I don't know what she's planning on doing. She can't grasp anything. She can't use her mouth to pick up anything. She can't literally do anything. There's nothing she's actually capable of doing right now. She is so locked down, there's no getting out of this. I'm just sort of watching her, and I'm asking her, what do you plan on accomplishing right now? You're creating so much stress for yourself. Why don't you just sit down in the chair and just accept it? There's no going anywhere. There's no picking up nothing. I mean, you're going to use your nose hole to pick up a pencil or something? You got nothing right now. Let me see how she responds. She's just screaming inside of herself. She's chained up and she's screaming inside of herself so loud that she can't even hear me talking to her. All right. All right, I'm going to go into her as she is a doorway to new information, so I'm just going to go into her. What is inside you? Okay. I'm just going to call it red blood cells and blood. That's what I'm seeing, but it also feels like it's on a fire and really hot and burning. But everything is flowing, and it seems to flow into this space. It's like a brain hemorrhage. It's like a blood pressure going high. It's like if it just feels like this in here. The pressure is not balanced of the blood, and it's gonna create an aneurysm or something like that. That is just how I experienced this. So does that mean that's physically the reality? No, it does not. But there's a lot of stress in here. I'm going to walk down to the heart portal. I'm going to be like a red blood cell, and I'm just going to go in the heart here. Boy, oh boy. You are a very interesting person. You have created the most dynamic, weird structures, energy structures. You're like a created a broken mirror maze in order to find, the issue. I will find this issue before I'm done here today. But it's like the one thing you don't want to look at yourself, and you're creating so much more misery and suffering in order to just not look at this one thing. It could be as simple as being a baby being born that was too traumatizing, and it just messed you up, and now all of your consciousness bodies just can't look at it because it's just too painful. So whatever this is, it could be something that seems not that bad, or it could be something that is extremely, extremely bad. But either way, it's saying it's that bad. It's saying it's really, 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 really bad. The reason why it's saying that is because it has created such a dynamic, fun world of resisting the one little crack in the mirror that it just can't look at. And this is all about your negative, the negative ideas and the sort of overriding the creativity. Okay, so because you have this, you are a freaking energy master. Because you managed to create all of this to prevent yourself from seeing this. The things it's like the amazing things we can do with energy, And we work a lot with energy more than we know as human beings. Go into an energy field and I find this, it's like, man, you're a mastermind. You are a mastermind. Okay. So I'm getting that much closer. I just have to keep going through these layers, okay? And I just keep going through the layers and going through the layers. I don't need to go to your heart portal anymore because I just needed that idea to show me the broken mirror with the piece that I'm still trying to get to. All right, so what's the next thing that you want to show me? Okay. It's a blood waterfall. So I'm just going to go down this waterfall, okay? And I'm going to relax myself a little bit more because I'm going to get into a little more serious mode. Boy, you got a lot of inner deep down anger, okay? Because that's coming up again, and it gets really stuck in the throat too. Emotions coming out now. You feel, what have I done? What am I doing to myself? But at the same time, there's a mischievous yes. Yes, what are you doing to yourself? Destroy yourself. It's sort of like that is so the angel and the devil of our inner consciousness, the love and the chaos side of ourselves. So you are saying this, you are crying, saying, what have I done? What have I done to myself? But the dark side is saying, yes, because even your inspiration to be in sorrow about what you have done to yourself is still feeding into the chaotic side of yourself, okay? So instead of saying that, you need to say, I am aware now of what I have done. And I'm so thankful for this awareness. This awareness is healing every aspect of myself and helping me to truly know what being set free actually means. To be free to fly and to love and to be childlike and creative. That is what feeds into the chaotic side, and the chaotic side starts to nurse off of this love energy, and then it transforms. So you always have to be the love side of yourself. Otherwise, the chaos is sort of like you're going beneath the chaos side, and it will continue to sort of be bigger than you, kind of thing. But if you say no and you go above the chaos side and force it to go up higher in vibration, it has no choice because you're going to suffocate the living daylights out of it. The only way to do that is just simply to love yourself. That is one physical way to do that. Positive affirmations do work. You got to be patient with them, but they do work. So, all right here. This is a really big deal, this blood waterfall and entering into this space. we're going to start to see more of what you've done, and we're going to just allow those images to reveal themselves. And it may not make any sense to your conscious mind, but it's like the dream state. Do dreams really make sense sometimes, and other times it's like, that was just weird, you know? But in the subconscious world where I'm going into your energy field, these images make absolute sense. They're frequencies with meaning. And there is real meaning here. All I can imagine, it's not necessarily, it's sort of like if all this blood goes away, beneath the surface is a lot of dead babies. That's all I know. It's just a lot. There's like thousands, millions of dead babies in this blood river. I'm going to pick one of them up here and see. It's really bloated, and it's sort of drowned in the blood river. And it's going to get a little bit more gruesome. There's a really nasty looking witch-like woman who's eating the babies, actually. She's by a well. She's really deep down inside. And so we're going to go through, she needs to express herself too, so we're just going to let her vent in her own gruesome witchy way, all right? So she's got one of these bloated, blood infested, it's a bloated baby full of blood. And she sort of slits the baby's throat and blood squirts out, and she just starts to drink it straight, like off of the front, and she just starts to drink it. So I'm just standing here and I'm just saying it's okay. There's nothing to be ashamed of here with this. I'm going to go to her and I'm going to ask her. She throws when the baby's dried up, she throws it in the well. And she just takes another baby and does this. Drinks the blood and throws it in the well. There's millions. It's just it's a weird place. Where does our creativity come from? It comes from our inner child, right? So what happens when we desecrate the inner child? It could look really distorted and disturbing like this. But some part of you did desecrate your inner child. And, all right, we're going to allow this. There's something new coming up here, okay? All right. Super evil eyes happening here. Some really dark and twisted mind in here. It's male. He just wants to break everything. I mean, it's sort of like, I didn't realize I was holding onto a walkie-talkie. And he's just flung it out of my hand, and my hand just like flung back and this walkie-talkie flew. I gotta keep it lighthearted, you know, when it gets all serious like this, because it's the only way to truly transform this type of stuff. It's just to like put a little happy in it. So we just gotta let this happen. So angry is happening here. I'm just gonna let it destroy as much as it needs to destroy in order to let go, okay? So we're just gonna let this fiber, these threads here, to just behave like the most evil eye, destroying everything possible. Then it never attacks me directly. It just wants to break things. It doesn't want to hurt me, though. What is it? What is this thing? So it's a dark bluish color. It's got a very sharp and pointy nose, sharp pointy ears, black eyes, and sharp teeth like a little goblin creature. It's full of anger. And it's intertwined with your mental body, your throat, and some lower part of you. I can't figure out where the other one is yet. He's pretty vicious. He's pretty snappy. He's short and snappy. But he's also angry. And he wants to just break everything. I want to bring him into this world with the babies and the blood rivers and the witch. I just want to see how these two interact with each other. One's female, one's male. I just want to see if there's something going on here with male-female balance and sort of thing. Oh, wow, he hates her guts. He jumps on her immediately and starts to strangle the living daylights out of her. The baby is dropped and bounced onto the ground like a ball. And he's just strangling her right now, like living daylights out of her. She can't breathe. And he's laughing. He's like, I finally got you. Like, he's saying this. He's going to beat her really badly. So, somehow he is very now that he's able to get into this place, he can hurt her for like 1 trillion years if he wants to. She has no power over him, but he holds all the power. So she can't do anything to him. And he is manifesting all kinds of vicious baseball bats and weird, nasty ways of beating her up over and 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 over again. And all the blood is just, you know, he's knocking teeth out. She's got blood dripping out of her mouth. She's got blood coming out of her eyes, blood coming out of everything. So you know, the inner pain, the inner anguish, we all have an inner self-destruction, you know, we all do. Right here, this here is a reflection of this. When we're too hard on ourselves, so to speak. Why does it have to look so totally gruesome? Well, because it's that out of balance. It's really that out of whack. So on all this deeper anger, we got to understand this deeper anger here. We got to let this vent out and let this release, because it's also blocking you from your inner creative style. So let's go ahead and let's just let all this venting happen, and then let's see what happens next, okay? Because we're going to bring all this into balance here. We're in that chip of the mirror that you don't want to take a look at it. You don't want to acknowledge that it's gotten this bad. All right, he's putting something in her mouth and forcing her to eat it, but it's not a baby. I don't know what it is exactly. And the woman is just sort of like a prop. She's not really, she's sort of emanating that she's sort of just a prop, and she's not really real. And that he's back in his chamber, and he was just thinking of her and ripping her apart in his daydream. But it wasn't actually real. He was never ripping anybody apart. He was just still attached to the idea, the hate, the pain. And he doesn't know how to heal it unless he could rip her apart, but that won't ever heal it. And it's not ever going to heal her or him. None of that's going to heal anything. Only love heals. Anger never heals. Venting is appropriate, but if it goes out of hand, it is out of balance. All right, so now that he's having a self-realizing moment about himself and the anger, and that he was kind of tricked in a way. I mean, he was in an eternity ripping her apart and shoving stuff down her throat and watching her bleed and laughing in her face and shitting on her. I mean, everything you could possibly fathom doing, he did it in 1 trillion years. In an illusionary world where he can't let go of his anger. It was sort of like the joke's on you. Until you choose to love, you will be trapped like this forever. Because your anger is out of control. It doesn't need to be like this. It doesn't. Okay, so evil eyes are happening again. And wow. I'm going to bring this this girl in the bright yellow sun and the white pony. I'm going to bring her into this space. And it's actually one single cell, like the egg has been impregnated by the sperm, and now it's duplicating to create a baby. But there's only two cells right now. Or maybe there's 2 babies actually forming from the same cell. I don't quite know. I think both will work, but one is male and one is female, and there's a membrane between them. And I'm going to put this child in between these two. And it's a yellow light and a child with a white pony, and she's smiling very radiantly. And I put her in between, and it's sort of emanating like actually a father and a mother. And I'm putting her in between them. But it also emanates as divine masculine, divine feminine energies out of balance within yourself. Wow, her light is powerful. When her light goes in this egg with the membrane, she actually emanates so much light in here that they begin to cry, and they sort of wake up to themselves. And they don't ever want to be that way. They never were that way to begin with. And they're so sad and they're so sorry. There's like no need for shame or embarrassment or anything on either side. They got locked into an illusion and they got trapped in that illusion. They weren't able to set themselves free until somebody could come and help them. Yeah, the evil eyes have no power anymore, because everything is soaking up this love, this true meaning, this true meaning. All right, there's a little bit more here. So this is really healing this male and female side, okay? And it's starting to turn into a sun. This egg is, or these, this scene is turning into a sunlight. It's not fully absorbed yet. There's still a little bit of anger going on in here. It's already subsiding. Let me see what else happens. Yeah, that octopus, I'm seeing that octopus also with her energy in the head. And the octopus is getting weaker. It's starting to fall a long ways into darkness. And I say, you don't have to fall into darkness. Why not fall into the light of all? Why not fall into the love? Let's just transform. We're going to turn this world upside down. So when you fall, octopus, you're falling into more and more of a heavenly space of love, to tend to you and nurture you, to heal you. This octopus has meaning as well, and it's not necessarily going to allow that just yet. Turning the world upside down. The octopus lands on a sharp spike in a dark space. And another dark-sided version of yourself is here, sort of laughing at the suffering and misery. But it's only how much suffering and misery is going on the inside of this one too. So I'm putting this laughing form into the experience of the octopus. And it cries and cries and cries and cries and cries and cries and cries. Because it was the octopus all along. It was the octopus that was in sorrow for the pain, and the other part of itself that was just laughing. But it really was it all along. There's no more laughter, and it's just so sad down here. It's just really sad down here. And the octopus doesn't know its purpose or its meaning. And I guess my meaning was just to die like this. This is really bad because, again, when I was trying to get to the heart and I saw the broken mirror and the chip in the mirror that I was trying to get to, this octopus too is the heart, has been stabbed in the heart. There's some meaning to this and that chip. So let me see here what happens next. Okay, I can't just lift the octopus off of the spike. I had to do something else. You have to start realizing that you have the power to let love in and allow love to guide you. You're still blocking it out. You're still just... Love is like that hobo we can't trust. But love is the one thing that you can trust in, and you need to start learning that. Because this space doesn't actually exist. It only exists in so much as you believe it does. Because even me standing here, I'm starting to learn that, again, this is another scenario where we're keeping a safety net, because love is too unpredictable. But if we create structure and we can believe in pain and suffering, because it's the one thing we know is real in this world, now we can work with this. Now we can trust in pain and suffering. But this is not it. This is not it. This is not the way forward. And I'm going to break down the layer that says I can't let love in. I'm going to break that down. And I'm going to say, yes, you can let love in. All right, so this is pretty, this is really, really jam blocked. Something crazy. And I'm going to stand here and I'm going to just beam the light. And I'm going to pull everything up. I'm going to go to the highest vibration I can get to of love, okay? The highest vibration of balanced, harmonic, heavenly love. And I'm going to force everything else to come up here or to suffocate down there and be transformed in the light. I'm going to go up higher than this place here. I've reached a plateau, but I can go up higher than this plateau. I'm going to go up to the next one. The first plateau is a bright yellow color, and the next one's purple. I'm going to go up higher than this, and then it gets red, but I'm going to go even higher still. Your ego is starting to play a part in this. Your ego is starting to be like, how can I manipulate her so that she thinks she's going higher, but she's really not? You know? So you've got a lot of checks and balances in place to make sure that the love and the light doesn't come in. Even if you're a super loving person, this is still underneath the surface that you got to reconcile all this stuff. All right. I'm just pulling up a giant, it's like a net full of a bunch of junk, and I've got a helicopter that can carry this weight, and I'm going to go up into the light with it. All right, I'm standing at this higher point, this higher vantage point. And we're looking down. This is like a soft pink and purple colored light. And a very beautiful woman that stands up here on a perch like a bird, but she's like a woman, a human woman with a beautiful, elegant dress on. And the purple turns to a teal color, and the pink almost turns to white, but they're still pink. It seems to be changing colors, but she smiles, and she never stops smiling. She almost looks like a professional, like Olympic diver for some reason. She stands in a certain way that I'm almost anticipating that she's going to take off this robe and she's got a bathing suit on and she's going to jump off from this height and make this amazing splash. And well, I guess they don't make splashes. They just do these amazing, like, somersaults and all this other stuff. And then they go into the water so seamlessly, like brilliantly. That's what she kind of emanates, that. She's really bright. She's within the heart portal of something much bigger even than this persona. And I love this persona. She is really larger than life. She's braiding hair. But she is not an attractive woman at all. She's got an oversized jaw, and she's really husky and very heavy legs and torso. But she's like, they keep echoing the word beast. But when I see her, like, I see how much love she has within her heart. It's not the reflection of the appearance. In the spirit realm, and in the human world. You'll see that in the spirit realm. They can put on whatever disguise they want. They can look like the most beautiful person in the world, but you look in their heart and it's being eaten alive by maggots. And it's like, yeah, you know, you can put on any disguise you want. So she's got this disguise on as this sort of beast, but she's saying that is who I am. But her heart is so ridiculously bright and loving and kind and gentle. She's got really huge hands, and she's braiding really delicate, really fine hair of somebody much, 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 much smaller, like a fairy size. It's like braiding fairy hair. It's like maybe braiding the hair of a Barbie doll or something. This feels really good. This feels a lot better. Because we need to see all the sides of oneself. We need to see all of the most disturbing sides, the sides that appear ugly but are actually so beautiful, the sides that are just perfect and bright and charming and Olympic swimmery. We got to see all the clever egotistical sides, the police officers, the hobo. We got to see all the sides. You've got a lot of sides to yourself. A lot of sides, and that would explain why you have access to so much creativity, because people who are creative can do stuff like this. They can create these smorgasbords of extremes even. And when you are able to love yourself for all these parts of yourself, because you can now, we're going to solidify that mirror because it's not broken anymore. You needed to have a conscious awareness of the many different types of frequencies within yourself, and you needed to love all of them, no matter how sick and twisted, no matter how oversized, no matter how rude and belligerent or egotistical or whatever. You needed to see all of these sides. And we're going to bring all these sides together now because we can. Because we've seen all the sides and we can love all the sides for as they are. So we're doing that. Bringing all the sides together. And the mirror now is no longer shattered. And this tiny little chip from the center, we're going to seamlessly place it in. I see a perfectly balanced mirror right now. And you're great. It's creating a lot of movement in your soul. That feels good. Okay, let's see. Wow, you actually are standing very tall, and you have a really mighty purpose. I mean, you could be as mighty as a mountain. You have a cape blowing behind you, and you're charging forward like the leader of a great army, and you're wearing blue. You're really admirable. You're really admirable. You're really, all of this work I've done, I can feel all the threads of yourself coming together and having a new appreciation for yourself, a new love for yourself. It's really beautiful. And you're right. I mean, you tell me you're right, Abby. We look at this sort of octopus that is on the spike, and you're here with me, and we're looking down in a pool of water at this image as though it's a movie playing for us of a memory. And it didn't need to it's so to speak, like the event is this, but we can transform that event at any time. And so you tell me that I'm right about encouraging you to let the love in and breaking down your shell and letting that love in. I know it's like, well, I think I'm letting the love in. I think I'm doing that. There is such an extraordinary level where we still have shells up and shields and all these protective things in place, and our ego out of control. Like, we don't know how many layers of security we have. But that's got to go, because the only thing you need is love. And love is going to help you through the hard times and the good times. Do not resist the experiences that love provides. And love is here to heal this octopus. That space is so far away now, and we've come up to such a high vantage point. And I'm bringing all the ugliest sides of yourself and the most beautiful sides of yourself and the most balanced sides now to yourself. We're just bringing and merging them all together up here in this higher vibrational space. Wow, it's amazing. The feeling I'm getting. There's in one version we can say there's still a goblin and a witch, but in another version we can say that they have come into balance and self-awareness, and they're smiling as radiant beings of love and light. And it's really neat to see that. And I can feel the love is just so bright in your heart right now. I'm going to bring this child in the yellow light into this space here. And it's like a heart space. This highest vibrational space is also interconnected with your heart portal. And the healthy, balanced mirror and all the faces that came from the broken parts of that mirror that we brought back together again. And everybody is feeling harmonic and in tune with each other. I'm going to bring this image in one more time to really enhance that love and that's developing within the heart, okay? Yeah, that feels really good. Everybody is soaking it up. I'm going to share this love with every one of your energy bodies, okay? Above your head, below your feet, in front, behind. We're just really gonna, in the gut, upper gut, lower gut, we're gonna do it, all your energy bodies, okay? We're just gonna let this happen. Wow, harmonic balance totally happening right now. Even more than ever before, so much more concentrated. You are getting it. All of your energy bodies are getting it. And the last thing I see here is you as sort of like a NASA shuttle is like blasting off into space, and it's sort of letting go of some of its pieces in order to go up all the way into outer space. And I just see you as like a really extraordinary rocket ship going into outer space and letting go of these pieces. So you can travel so much further than you've ever known before. And like Star Trek, you know, go where no man has ever gone before. You're kind of like an explorer, an adventurer. You're emanating that energy frequency here too. So exciting and wonderful. Okay, that's everything I can share. That was so fun. You're going to be feeling a lot more energetically balanced. Just give it a couple of days, because if you do feel sleepier than usual, that's because your body is coming into balance with all these new energy shifts, okay? That's pretty normal. Just give it a few days and you'll start to become more and more in tune with this experience, and it's going to make you feel brighter, lighter, and far more harmonic, and you'll get what I mean because you'll be feeling what I mean, okay? All right. So for those of you watching, if any of you are interested in exploring a session with me, please visit me at my website at abbeynormalswisdomquest.com. Okay, thank you all for watching, and I wish you all a wonderful day.